What's up, guys? So I saw it and sorry, let me just start over. Um, so, hey, what the heck is that? Give me one quick second. Why am I talking to the camera? What? Sorry guys, I had to scare you. I'm reviewing scary stories to tell in the dark. It was too easy. I'm sorry. But thank you for staying, because I'm genuinely excited to talk about this movie. So today I'm reviewing Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. And this film was directed by Andre Orvidal, and the screenplay was created by 4 amazing screenwriters, including Guillermo del Toro, Dan and Kevin Hageman, and John August. And the cast included people such as Zoe Margaret Coletti, Michael Garza, Austin Sajur, and Gabriel Rush, and a bunch of other amazing people. When I first went into this film, I didn't know what to expect. I had seen the trailer before, but I wasn't that excited. It was just a horror movie, and I was like, it seems creepy. I'll maybe give it a look, maybe not, who knows. But I wasn't excited to see it. But when I bought the ticket and I saw what it was based on, so the movie is based on a book series created by Alvin Schwartz back in the 80s. Just genuine scary stories all piled up into one book. Or 2 books actually in the 80s and 1 book in the 90s. So when I started going down that rabbit hole of the internet and looking at the lore that comes with this film, I was genuinely intrigued. Like, some of these stories were actually kind of creepy. Some of the illustrations are terrifying. They were created by Stephen Gamel. Wow, he's an amazing illustrator. Amazing, terrifying illustrations. And so I kind of got interested with the story, and I became a little bit excited to watch it. So I sat down in the movie theater, I was ready to go, and honestly, I loved this movie. I really, really, really did. And I think one of the reasons I loved it so much is because I was able to see the heart of the director and the screenwriters, the heart they had for this book series, and the want to bring it to a different audience, like moviegoers. I loved it. It was a really cool story to witness and to watch. I enjoyed the creepy imagery used. It's surprisingly very similar to these books. I'm actually kind of sad that I had never read these books before, because I'm a big horror story fan. Like, I love listening to horror stories, podcasts, all that shebang. And I'm kind of disappointed that I never found this out, because it definitely looks interesting and it's definitely scary stories. So like I said, the creepy imagery in the film is on point, and you can see a little bit the heart of the directors, because some of the imagery that you see in the film is very, very similar to the imagery created by Stephen Gamel. Very, very cool. For example, there's this creature, I forgot the name, but it's like a full white creature that you see in the trailers. Long, greasy black hair, like black dots for eyes, and like a line as a smile. He just walks, it's kind of chubby. When I saw that creature in the book, it's literally the exact same. They even have kind of that black and white feel of it, which I really enjoyed watching. The film overall has some really cool scares and some really good creepy imagery. Some of them aren't so scary, but some of them definitely are. And I think a lot of people might not enjoy that as much. Some people might say, oh, the movie wasn't that scary. It was just a little creepy. Personally, I don't think a horror movie has to scare you all of the time. I think just showing creepy things and disturbing imagery like that could be enjoyable. I mean, it definitely looked terrifying. And I'll admit it, I was a little scared at a few parts and disturbed at a few parts. it was cool. The story was so fun. But I gotta be honest, you've definitely seen it before. I've definitely seen it before. I'll even give you a movie where I've seen it before. Goosebumps. Literally, this is the plot of Goosebumps. It's literally the same as this movie. Kids find a book filled with terrifying stories of terrifying creatures, and somehow, in a way that they don't understand, these creatures are coming to the real world and they are hunting them. You've seen this before. But I loved seeing it through a much darker and scarier lens. Goosebumps is definitely meant for a young audience. It's meant for kids to enjoy a fun, creepy movie, you know, with a lot of comedy and a lot of jokes. This film is kind of the opposite. It has the same story and it has a little bit of comedy in there, but its main focus is that terrifyingness, that creepiness, that scariness that the stories were intended to do when the book was written. So it is different in that way. This is definitely a much darker way of telling these stories. So yeah, I gotta kind of warn you with that a little bit too, because I feel like a lot of people, especially parents, are gonna go take their children to this, to watch this film, thinking about those books that they read when they were younger, the actual original stories. And they're gonna be like, oh, I want my kid to experience that. It was really fun to read them. I gotta warn you against that, because this film gets terrifying imagery in a lot of places, and disturbing imagery as well. It's genuinely not an easy movie to watch at many parts. So I don't recommend taking children to this one. Some of them might get terrified, and I totally understand why. But moving on to something else that I love, the acting. The acting was really good in this film, and I enjoyed the fact that some of the people that were wearing the costumes are the same people that have worn costumes for other horror movies that I've seen. For example, the guy who dressed up as the Demogorgon suit in the first season was in this movie in one of those suits, you know? The guy who was Slender Man with the long arms and all that. The guy who was inside of that suit was in this film as well. So I really enjoyed seeing that part of like Hollywood like come to this film. You know, they brought classic people who have worked in the horror film business, before, and they brought it for this film, and I really love that. Some things that I didn't enjoy in this film, to put in the context of this film, just some of the things that happen, important plot points, were very easy, a little too easy. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, but it was a little too easy. Some of the things that happened and some of the situations that were happening are kind of impossible to happen in the real world. So there's a lot of not realism in this film. Also, it takes a while to get exciting. The first chunk of the film, before they find the book, the group of kids finds the book, they're just introducing them and their relationships with each other and all that. And it can get a little bit boring in that first half, but then after that, it's just pure excitement all the way through. Overall, I love this film. I honestly think it's gonna go in my top 10 of the year. I don't know where yet. There was a lot of movies that have happened, and a lot of movies that are gonna happen in the year. So I don't know. It might even land on my honorable mentions. Who knows? But I really, really did enjoy this film, and I'm excited to see it again. I really recommend you watching it. It could be a cool date movie. It could be a cool movie to see with your buddies, to just watch them get scared. It's a great horror film, and I genuinely enjoyed it. I'm excited to see what else comes out of this director. Like, this was great. I'm gonna give this movie 4 Heralds out of 5. I really did like it, and I really hope you guys enjoyed too. So, that was my review for Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I really hope you guys check it out. If you want to see my other videos, there's literally a few reviews and a few reactions you can see. Yeah, that I love doing them. Also, please like, subscribe, And comment down below whatever other suggestions you have for me. If you want me to react to any trailers, review any other movies, old movies, new movies that are coming up, let me know. I'll try my best to do them. I also did a reaction to some scary story videos, which I feel is very connected to this video for obvious reasons. I'll put a link to that below too so you guys can check it out. My buddy Jerry Q helped me make that. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope you check it out and have a wonderful day. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do it. Ah! Nah, I'm kidding. Ah! Nah, I'm not gonna do that again to you guys. Peace.
Don't you ever laugh as the hearse goes by, for you may be the next one to die. They wrap you up in big white sheets and cover you from the head to the feet. They put you in a big black box and cover you with dirt and rocks. All goes well for about a week until your coffin begins